Alright guys, I'm going to tell you a little story about a friend I have. Now, this friend of mine finished high school and went to go work at a summer camp. Brought his guitar, brought his fedoras, brought a whole bunch of crazy hats, and was going to call himself Hats. He had a plan. His plan was, every day, pull a name out of a hat, and it would be one of the campers' birthdays, camp birthdays. They get to sit in front of on the dinner table. There's the head of the chair. They get to sit there. They get to lead the line. They get to go on my shoulders. They can do whatever they want. Then his friend, I remember he got back from camp, and he met this girl. Beautiful girl. Not the hottest girl in the world, but her personality was amazing and outgoing, and her smile just made a whole room light up. And he fell so hard for her. And I remember he would hang out with her every day, and he would wait on a bench, and he would always see her come across, walking from the corner. And he told me he'd always watch her walk the street. He always looked down, but keep his eyes pointing that way, and he'd watch her cross the street. And he'd see that she was doing the same towards him, and then she'd wait for that light and then cross back over, and then they smiled, the biggest smile towards each other, met up, sat down, rolled a joint, smoked up, skipped classes, kept on skipping classes, more and more not doing homework. And then I remember he told me he kept on telling her stories about, me and my friends, we go out, we party. All he ever really did was drink and smoke weed. And she was like, oh yeah, well, me and my friend, we go to raves and we pop and we do that and this and this. And him, like an idiot, he was like, oh yeah, I popped ecstasy before. I liked it. I went out at my friend's birthday party, and it was fun. It was a good experience. But I know him, and he never did a drug in his life besides weed. Promised on his life to never ever ever do those types of drugs. So then he gets presented to do an opportunity. He's like, oh well, do you want to do a pill? Like, do you want to pop with me and Sam? He was like, oh, well, might as well, because they're pretty chill. We always smoke, we always hang out, and I like you, and I want to impress you. So, before I continue, I just want to say that this video is about peer pressure. Not necessarily peer pressure where, like, oh, you kind of have no choice, I'm going to kick your ass if you don't do it. That's bullying. Talking about how sneaky peer pressure can be, okay? And now I'm going to continue. So, they finally get the, her name, we'll call her A. So A finally gets pills, MDMA to be exact, and comes back to his house. And they're chilling. It's him, A, and B. B is also a girl. And I remember they're all like, okay, so what are we gonna do? And then I remember he told me he did admit to them that it was the first time he would ever taken MDMA, but he did say he took ecstasy before, which was a lie. So they're like, okay, look, we'll just go out, we'll have fun, we'll walk around, we'll do whatever the fuck we want. So they all take the drug and they all have a great time. Now, 6 months go by, and he stops talking to his best friend and all of his friends and his family, and he starts being disrespectful, and he starts hating on everything, and he can't go on one day without getting high or doing a line of coke, and dating his girlfriend, which is now girl A, I forgot to say, dating her and being so happy and thinking that he could do whatever, he goes to work, comes back home, sees her, buys drugs, and then has fun, and then goes back to work, sees her, buys drugs, has fun, goes to work, sees her, blah, 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 blah. Endless cycle. 2 years. No. 2 years. 2 years go by. And he's in the same routine. Started thinking about why aren't any of my friends talking to me? Why do I not have any friends? His relationship starts getting rough. And keep on fighting every day about little things and serious fights that turn into wars for weeks. And finally broke up with her. And that was tough. I remember he told me that was really, really tough. And he would come home for the first week after that breakup. Go on the balcony, smoke a joint, come back in, do a line of coke, do a line of ketamine. 5 minutes later, repeat. Go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home, smoke, another line. Every time he did a line, the lines got bigger, the lines got more, and then he sat down and cried and thought to himself, he's like, what am I doing? Why am I doing these drugs? For what reason? I'm not even having fun. I'm not doing it to be happy. I do them and I get sad. It's just... Then he realizes, you know what? He loved A. All of his heart. Really, really did. But he was trying to save her because she had an eating disorder. And she was bullied. And she was called ugly. And she was beautiful. And nobody told her that on a daily basis. Not even her own mother. So what did he do? He had to save her. He couldn't let this light bulb die. This bright light, this beautiful rainbow beauty light just get like pushed into the darkness of like negativity and just die out. After I broke up with A, that was the hardest thing I had to deal with. Coming home and doing all those drugs, that was sad. I finally decided that I was going to get clean. Took all my drugs, went to the bathroom, flushed them down the toilet. Gave all my weed away to one of my friends. Slowly, I'm 6 months sober. It's not much, but it's a start. And if you haven't figured out the friend I'm talking about, that's me. And the peer pressure was A. And she never forced me to do anything that I didn't want to do. She never said, it's either this or I'm going to stab you. She was so amazing and so lovely, and I would do anything for this girl. Yet when she said, I want to have fun and take this drug, without second thought, I'm in. I'm right beside you. I'm doing it with you. Unfortunately, it got too far, and I did way too much. I pushed my friends, my family, and her away. I lost everything. I have nothing anymore. Yes, I talk to my friends and my family. It's not the same. I've stolen from my family and I've burnt a trust that we had, and now I have to rebuild it slowly, and it's going to take longer. It's going to take way longer. My friends and I, we still talk. Very rare. But we do talk, and we do hang out as much as we can. Peer pressure is a real thing, and it is really tough, and it's so sneaky that you can do it to yourself. And although you may think, you know what, it's not for a bad reason, you really, really, really have to think, am I doing this for me? Or am I doing this to please somebody else? I don't regret any choice I did. Being with A was amazing. I miss it at times, but my actions led to my consequences, and I still don't think I made a mistake. I made a life decision that has taught me a lot about myself, about others, and about life. I wouldn't go back and change it. I would do it over again. Because now I know that the biggest peer pressurer is me. I just wanted to let you guys know that it's not just your friends and your family that you have to look out for peer pressure. You have to recognize when you're doing it to yourself with nobody telling you anything. Just you doing it to yourself. And it's unbelievable, but it is a real thing. So that's a little sum up of my story. Have a good day.